Hi everyone, this video is going to review the back page of your finite domain and range practice. All right, here we go. Now we have a graph and we are going to try and find the domain and range for this graph. The domain means all of the possible x values that are found in this graph, and the range means all of the possible y values that are found in the graph. Okay, so just as a reminder, the domain is like the walls of the graph. So I put this here to help us remember that. We always go from left to right. So as I come from the left, the first point I hit on my graph is right here, and that is -8. When I come then from the right, the first point I hit is right here, and that point is 9. Then I'm going to look and I see it's a closed circle and another closed circle. Sorry, that's a little messy. So my domain is all x values from -8 to +9. Domain is x, so that goes in the middle. And then the symbols are always going to be the less than symbols when I have two stopping points. Then I go back and remind myself they are two closed circles, which means -8 and 9 are included in the domain. Next, I'm going to look at the range. The range is like the floor and the ceiling of the graph. We always go from the bottom to the top. So as I come from the bottom, the first number that I hit, the first y value, is -4. Because I don't see an open circle, that means it is actually a closed circle. It includes that point. Then when I come down from the top, the first point I hit is right here. Okay, so that is, the y value there is 10. So don't be tricked. It's not this point of the graph. It's the very highest point. That is 10. And again, with a closed circle. So my range is from my smallest number, -4, to 10. Range is y, so that goes in the middle. Once again, because I have two stopping points, I'm going to use the less than symbol. Two closed circles includes -4, and includes +10. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and erase what I wrote here, and I'm going to find the x-intercepts, the y-intercepts, and the zeros. So x-intercept I know will be on the x-axis and that there can be more than one. So I go across, I find one point right here, and I keep going, and there's another point, and that's it. So that means there are two x-intercepts. I know that for every x-intercept, the y value is 0. So I can put that in right away. Here my x value is -5. And the other one, just go with -2. I know it doesn't look perfect, but we're just going to use whole numbers. -2, 0. You need to write them as two separate points. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and do the y-intercept. Change my highlighter color. I know that the y-intercept will be on the y-axis. My point is right here. Again, I know it doesn't look perfect, but we're going to use 3 as our number. There's only one y-intercept. The x value is always 0 for the y-intercept, and my y value is 3. I know that my x-intercept and my zeros are the same thing. So I'm just going to, whoops, I should use green again. Copy those here. -5, 0, and -2, 0. You also might see the zeros written like this. X equals -5, X equals -2. All right, next problem. Looks a little different. This time we have an open circle, but we follow the same process. Domain are the walls. Always start coming from the left. Here's the first point I hit, and that is -9 with an open circle. When I come from the right, the first point I hit is right here, and that is +3 with a closed circle. So I'll put my numbers in first. So that means my domain are all the x values from -9 to +3. Domain is X. I use my less than symbols. I have an open circle here. That means that it's not including -9. Closed circle here, so I put the line under the symbol, and that's my domain. Now I'm going to do the range. I'm going to come up from the bottom. The first point I hit here is -5 with an open circle. When I come down from the top, the highest point here is +10 with a closed circle. So my domain, all y values from -5 to +10, range is y. Use my less than symbols. -5 is not included, +10 is included. All right, now we're going to do intercepts the same way we did before. I'm going to highlight my x. Looking across, there is only one x-intercept, 0 for the y value, -7 for the x. X-intercepts and zeros are the same. So I'm just going to hop down and fill that in, or you can write it like this. Then I'm going to change the color. Whoops. Here is my y-intercept. There is only one. X value is always 0 and 6. Okay, remember you can pause this video and go back if you need to make any corrections on your paper. Here we go again, domain and range. Domain, we got the walls coming from the left. Here is my first stop, open circle at -8. Coming from the right, here's my farthest point. My biggest number is +7 with a closed circle. There we go. So that means my domain is from -8 to +7, x in the middle, less than, open circle, closed circle. Then I'm going to go ahead and do my range, which is the floor and the ceiling. When I come up from the bottom, this is the first point I hit, and that's +1 with a closed circle because it does not have an open circle. When I come down from the top, the highest y value is +9. Okay, so the graph goes down and up again, but you're doing the very highest y value and the very lowest y value. And both of these, I'm sorry, this one is actually an open circle. Sorry about that. So my range is from -4 to +9 with a y in the middle. And then less than. It does include -4. It does not include +9. All right, now we're going to do our intercepts. Okay, here is the x-axis. Oh my goodness, it doesn't cross at all. So that means there are no x-intercepts. So I can just write none. If there are no x-intercepts, there are also no zeros. So I can write none there as well. Then we're going to check the y, and we have one y-intercept. Again, I'm just going to use +1. We're not going to do any fractions for this. Same thing on a test. X is always 0. Y is 1. And there we go. Okay, I think we have 2 more to do here. Domain are the walls. So come from the left. The first number I come to is -9 with an open circle. When I come from the right, it is +8 with an open circle. There we go. Sorry, that's a negative. So from -9 to +8, domain is x, less than. It does not include either one of these points, so no underlining. Range, floor, and ceiling. When I come up from the bottom, it's that first point I come to. Don't worry about the ups and downs. It is just this point, and we're going to use -5, and that is a closed circle. Then I have to be really careful that I'm only paying attention to the very highest part. So I'm coming down from the top, right here is positive 9 with, again, an open circle. That means my y values range from negative 5 to positive 9, y in the middle. Negative 5 is included, positive 9 is not included. Now I'm going to erase for my intercepts. Here's my x-axis. I'm going to go across. It's actually not touching there. There we go. And there's another one. So there are 2 x-intercepts. If you put 3, if you counted that one, that's fine too. But I'm just going to do the 2 that are clearly there. And that's going to be zeros for the y. 3 and 7. X-intercept and zeros are the same. So I write it again. Or I can write it like this. Then I switch. There's my y-intercept. X is always 0. That point is 2. Okay, problem number 12. Again, domain are the walls. I come from the left. I draw my wall here. That's a closed circle at negative 7. I come from the left. I draw my wall here. That's a closed circle at positive 10. My domain is from negative 7 to positive 10. X in the middle, less than, 2 closed circles, underline, underline. Range, floor, and ceiling. Come up from the bottom. There's my first y value. That's a closed circle at negative 5. Come down from the top. This is my highest point. That's a closed circle at positive 6. So my range is from negative 5 to positive 6, y in the middle, less than, closed circle, underline, underline. Erase to do my intercepts. Here is x. There's one right there, and there's another one. So 2 x-intercepts, zeros for the y, negative 3, positive 8. X-intercepts and zeros are the same, so I write it again. Or I write it like this. Then I do my y, highlight the y-axis. Where does it cross? Right here. There's one y-intercept, always a 0 for the x, and that's a negative 4 for the y. Right, I think we have one more. Here is our last one. Domain is the walls. I come from the left. Here is my smallest, whoops, did not work. My smallest domain value. That is an open circle at negative 7. I come from the left. That's from the right, I apologize. And this is my farthest wall on this side with a closed circle at positive 7. So my domain is from negative 7 to positive 7, x in the middle, less than, open circle here, so no underline, closed circle for the positive 7, so I do underline. Now we're going to do the range, the floor, and the ceiling. I come up from the bottom. Here is my floor. I have one open circle and one closed circle. Because this one is closed, it means that that point is included. So I'm going to do a closed circle with negative 8. And then I come down from the top. This is my highest point with a closed circle at positive 6. So my range is from negative 8 to positive 6, y in the middle, less than, closed circle, included, closed circle, included. All right, last intercepts. I'm going to highlight my x-axis. Then I'm going to come across. Where does it cross? Right here. Keep going. There's another one. I have two x-intercepts. Y is always 0. That's -4 and +4. X-intercepts and zeros are the same, so I copy it again. And I can also write it like this. And our last y-intercept, highlight the y-axis. Where does it cross? Right here. Parentheses, 0 for the x, 6 for the y. All right, I hope this video helped. Let us know if you have any questions.